What a headshot! What a head!
How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. And on this video, I'll be taking you through my ultimate guide to the upcoming Game Week 26. So it feels a little bit strange not to say double Game Week 26, but as you guys know, the back-to-back doubles have just concluded, but we do have double Game Week 25 coming up tonight, Aston Villa taking on Liverpool. But with the Friday night deadline, a reminder there that this is going to be once again a Friday night deadline. I want to release this video on Wednesday as I want to leave time for the team selection. So in this ultimate guide, we'll be going over the all-important assistant manager chip, as I'm looking to make a potential transfer away from Arne Slot to a higher ceiling fixture. So I've got a very nice talking point to go over, some great graphics, as well as the usual talking points such as the clean sheet odds and projected goals. Added to this kind of Game Week 26 mix is going to be the Captaincy debate, as is Mo Salah the best option for this upcoming game week? So a ton to go over, so many talking points, and if you guys want to see them, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So the first talking point, I went over this in the ultimate guide last week, but it's actually the fact that I've changed the team stats, or I've actually removed that section. I just feel like it was getting a little bit stale, and I think the projected odds, projected clean sheets, have a little bit more of some insights, and I think that you guys can check the team stats out by yourself using whatever stats provider that you guys want. So let's get straight into these clean sheet projected odds. They're from the SpreadX data, and these can be super useful for your benching concerns or even your transfer plans. So let's go over the defensive numbers first. So as always, every fixture on screen right now color coded according to the FPL colors, green to grey to pink to maroon. Now in terms of the top 5 fixtures, we do have some high performers at the number 1 spot as we Arsenal with 52%, and then you have a couple of teams around that kind of 32 mark. So Brighton have the second highest chance, and then we also have Bournemouth plus Fulham, Newcastle rounding us off at 5th with 30%. Now I really do hope that Newcastle keep a clean sheet if it just means that Chris Wood finally blanks again. He's been dropping my rank every single game week, getting his low XG chance and his 3 bonus points. It just seems like the odds are really not rating that Forest attack at the current moment, but they're still scoring a ton of goals. Now as a double up in that Arsenal defense, I own Raya plus Gabriel. I love to see this percentage. And if you guys have gone for someone like a Kirkes from Bournemouth, the number's also looking pretty good. Now on the opposite end of the spectrum, we do have those maroon fixtures. This week it's Southampton 11%, but the lowest is West Ham with 8%. And looking at most people's teams, not many of us own an Arsenal attacker. The most attacking player I do own from them is going to be Gabriel, which I guess on those set pieces could be a threat, but definitely want to look at if you guys are looking for an attacking transfer. Also Wolves, the Bournemouth midfielders are pretty popular. Wolves did play better against Liverpool though, but I'd probably say it's safe to assume that Bournemouth score in this one. Then we have a bunch of pink fixtures. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but we have so many teams on 14%. Leicester, Ipswich, Forest, Man City, all have 14%. And the rest come in close: Aston Villa, Chelsea and Liverpool. Now you guys can also notice some pink matchups here. Both teams expected to score, Villa taking on Chelsea and Man City versus Liverpool. So as a Trent owner, this doesn't lead me to believe there might be a clean sheet. And also worrying, I'm starting Munoz and he has only 20%. So maybe you don't expect clean sheets from these games, but you probably can expect a few goals. So probably the ones to watch if you guys are going to watch some fixtures. Now I will say though that this week the clean sheet chances aren't that high for the majority of teams, and for even some of those green fixtures, don't think I can see those teams keeping clean sheets. But let's see how these numbers do translate when we go over the projected goals. Slightly more exciting here, especially with that Captaincy debate. So that's probably where we can discuss our captain options first. I think most people are saying is Mo Salah the best option, but when you do look at the numbers here, there's not many kind of better fixtures. I mean, not many of us do own an Arsenal attacker, let alone are we going to captain someone like an Odegaard or a Trossard. And would you captain someone like a Semenyo, a Kluivert or a Dango? I guess the closest might be going for a Chelsea option like a Cole Palmer, but even he has less projected goals than Liverpool at 1.85. So even though Mo Salah has a tougher fixture, there's not that many other good options. Now once again, quite a worrying factor is going to be one of those maroon fixtures, Crystal Palace, as I do own Eze in my midfield department. Otherwise the usual suspects, kind of West Ham, Wolves as well as Southampton, but even the pink fixtures are still expected to score over 1 goal. Now, if you guys do use the green fixtures for your Captaincy decision, as mentioned, Arsenal at the top there, as well as Bournemouth, Brighton also on 2.1. Isaac with an outside shout at 1.9 against that Forest team, and I'm just hoping Brentford score a few against Leicester. Not much can be gauged with most teams in and around that kind of 1.9 mark, so no real standout fixture in terms of captaincy. Let's see what those kind of Man City and Liverpool games as well as Arsenal vs Chelsea have in store for us, as the odds are kind of projecting a goal per team. If you guys do want to jump on that Bournemouth train, might not be too late, as Game Week 26 does look quite favourable. Other than that though, as mentioned, not many insights can be gauged here. I think it might actually be quite a low scoring week. Let's see how it plays out. Now the next talking point I just want to quickly go over is that if you guys haven't known, Game Week 32's double has been confirmed, and that's going to be for Newcastle as well as Crystal Palace. So for Palace, it's 2 away games, it's Man City plus Newcastle, not that great, but the Newcastle double up is 2 home games against United and Palace. So definitely am favouring that kind of Newcastle double versus the Crystal Palace one, and if you guys want to use a chip in this week, the triple captain on Isaac might not be a bad shout. If you guys know the current schedule of the doubles and the blanks, you'll know that Game Week 33 might be a double. Definitely will be a double for some teams, but might not be for Newcastle. There's a chance that Newcastle do get back-to-back doubles, and therefore Eddie Howe might be a good option for the assistant manager. Initially though, double Game Week 33 might be the bench boost week, so just keep that in mind if you guys still have the assistant manager chip. We will clarify things closer to the time though, as we don't exactly know when the doubles are going to take place, but double Game Week 32 has been confirmed. Now the next talking point, and probably the main one on the video, is going to be who's the best assistant manager transfer for Game Week 26. So to illustrate this, I'm going to bring up a graphic from Rob T FPL. You guys know I shout him out every deadline stream, and the graphic he created a few days ago is absolutely spot on. So please go check him out and go drop him a follow if you guys haven't. Great graphics over on Twitter, and this illustrates who's the best optional projected points for each manager this week. I also want to highlight that in kind of the orange or highlighted is going to be the chance of getting a boost, and that's because of the positional places at the moment. I also want to clarify that at the moment Crystal Palace do have 5 places between them and Fulham, but if Aston Villa do beat Liverpool tonight, they'll no longer get that positional advantage. That's because Aston Villa will go above Fulham, dropping Fulham 1 place, and therefore they'll be 4 places above Crystal Palace. So just keep that in mind if you guys are going to be going for Glasner, but don't worry, managers don't change in price, so you guys can wait till the deadline. And at the moment, he's my favorite replacement for Arne Slot. Now you guys can play it a bit boring and go for someone like an Arteta for Arsenal. My only concern though with Arsenal at the moment is that attacking department, just so many injuries. So that's why I might just play the odds, go for a more exciting fixture, the chance of the positional advantage, and for me it's between Glasner as well as Ipswich. So McKenna for Ipswich has a chance as well as a home fixture, as Spurs for me haven't been playing well at the moment. Yes, they just came off that win against United, but they haven't been that convincing, and therefore maybe I fancy Ipswich to get a draw at least at home. I also want to illustrate the fact that Arne Slot is perfectly capable of getting some points, but his ceiling is projected around 5.5. So that's why I said if you guys had to take a hit for Arne Slot out, I wouldn't do it, and if you want to spend a chance on your starting 11 rather, that's an okay situation. For me, my starting 11 does look okay, except Eze might be out this week, and that's why I might as well just do a transfer to go for a more high ceiling fixture. Ruud van Nistelrooy is also an interesting option, that is the Friday night kickoff. Could you guys see him getting something against Brentford? The only reason I'm not considering him is I do own Visa and Mbumo, so it kind of contradicts my starting 11 to go for Ruud van Nistelrooy. But if you guys don't have some Brentford coverage, you guys might play the odds here. Basically how these odds were projected is the win percentage plus the draw percentage, and then if they do get that positional boost. Points per goal as well as clean sheets also incorporated, so very nice graphic here. Once again, shout out to Rob T FPL. Now in the comments down below, who are you guys going for if you are making a managerial switch? I also did cut off any manager below Arne Slot, so if they are below here like an Emre, their projected points are below 5.5. As mentioned at the moment, looking at Crystal Palace, as long as Aston Villa don't win tonight, who knows what happens in FPL. Now the last talking point to go over is going to be the Captaincy debate, and this week with Salah facing Man City, are you guys going differential? Now I want to clarify one thing is that I'll be going for 3 differential options on screen just because Mo Salah's pretty kind of template. Now Mo Salah's projected points were in and around these players as well, so he's still a great option. I just want to talk about him as his effective ownership is going to be sky high. It's a little bit of a warning there, if you guys do go against Salah, just beware, it's going to be a massive risk. But do any of these 3 players appeal to you for the armband? For the first team, coming off the back of Arsenal being the highest projected goal scorers, I'm going to select Odegaard or Trossard as my first pick, and they have the highest projected points of 6.1. Now West Ham at home's a great fixture in the inverse fixture. I think it was around game week 13, Arsenal absolutely destroyed West Ham, but that's going to be with that better defense or with no injuries. With that current front 3, they might be hindered slightly, but I still feel like Arsenal will score in this one, and therefore Odegaard or Trossard could be good selections. If you guys want to go for a more reliable option though, but with the tougher fixture, Isaac's at home against Forest. So a slight drop off there, 6.0 projected points, not the best, but as mentioned, I think it's going to be a pretty low scoring week. So I do expect Isaac and Newcastle to bounce back after their Man City fixture, but who knows what Forest defense is going to pitch up on the weekend. Now the last option is definitely differential, it's to go for Mbeumo against Leicester, probably the best fixture. The only slight concern is Mbeumo and Brentford aren't in great attacking form. You guys can trust me, I know this as I do own Mbeumo plus Visa, and they've got me literally no points since bringing them in, so heed some caution if you guys are going to go this route. But still great fixture, you guys should probably back against the newly promoted teams, and Leicester aren't in great defensive form. Now going over these 3 options, as you guys can probably tell, not many great selections, and that's why I personally probably going to stick the armband on Mo Salah. Even though Liverpool's attacking form hasn't been the best and they aren't playing the best, I still feel like Mo Salah can score against Man City. So yes, I'll be going boring, I won't be going against the effective ownership, as I just don't feel like there's a great option besides him this week. You guys can let me know in the comments down below though, who's your captain for Game Week 26? Are you guys going boring like myself with Mo Salah, or are you going differential? Also, any other talking points you want me to cover, drop them in the comments down below on my Discord server. I'm slightly more active there, link in the description. Let's see what happens tonight. Villa taking on Liverpool. Will there be a shock? I'll analyze that in the team selection coming up probably on Thursday. This is basically a wrap for the video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you like it and subscribe if you have subscribed yet. Notifications on for that team selection dropping shortly, as well as the deadline stream coming up on Friday evening. But for the time being, I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.